This is What Now with AI.
I'm Tom, and I'm an AI skeptic.
And I'm MJ, and I'm an AI realist.
Hello, MJ. It's been a long time. Feels like it's been years.
Tom, it's so good to see you. You know, academic summer, though, it's good when it feels like years.
We have a new website launch that captured all the 9 episodes we did this year so far, and looking forward to building more resources for MSU community to use.
Absolutely. I hope people feel welcome to go and look at that site. Well, you want to jump into what we've seen recently?
Yes.
All right. So this is published in the newsletter The Conversation by Luke Heemsbergen, who's a senior lecturer at Deakin University. And he is talking about a lawsuit that Apple is bringing against OpenAI. But the part that I thought was really interesting is this idea that the next frontier for AI, it's not in a computer, it is a device itself. So the article talks about a little handheld device that doesn't even have a screen. It has some buttons on it, and it tells you about the status of different AI agents, right? The part that I thought was interesting is this buzzword of physical AI. This is the idea that artificial intelligence is moving into the physical world through devices that can move, listen, watch, and respond to the people around them. I really thought it was interesting how they tied it to how social media platforms, they've moved away from interaction toward what they call algorithmic broadcasting and parasocial observation. You're watching other people interact rather than doing it yourself. So what will replace that social function? The industry is betting it could be a new kind of AI-powered companion, one that attentively reads a child a bedtime story, or a device that keeps eye contact with you as you chat about your day. Throwing into this mix also are some developments that have happened with the architecture of AI. Some of the area of the model generates an answer, just like they do typically, but another part of the model is listening at the same time. So it's encoding and decoding simultaneously, which then means that it can do things like you're doing right now. Or interrupting, or making little comments, which before it could not because it could only listen or generate. Now it can do both at the same time. What do you think about all this?
I think the extension of AI into the physical space is inevitable. And we've heard a lot of rumors that a lot of data companies, they are like making all those workers tie a camera in front of their forehead to do the dishes or cook or mop the floor.
There are companies that'll pay you to do that.
I can see in a few years there may be more AI robots cooking for you. And whether that's a good thing or not, it's really up for debate, you know. Do you see cooking as an art? Do you see cooking as a workflow that you want to automate to AI?
But you think it's inevitable, huh?
I think one issue that those tech companies have identified is a lot of what we do with AI is in the chat interface.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people in the world that don't have the ability to interact with a chat box. Like there are still a lot of people in the world that are illiterate, right? Like my mom is illiterate. My mom can't interact with AI that way.
Do you think that's driving the voice interface too? Is that why?
And then that's another thing about voice. I have not been happy with voice interaction with AI because I always feel like it interacts with me in a very awkward way. Like I would be talking, and then normally if we're talking, you could sense that I still want to talk, right?
Yeah.
But AI will just interrupt me all the time.
Just like a
Real human being. Yeah.
An annoying colleague.
Yes.
I'm not done.
However, I do want to bring up the other article that I sent you about this AI robot called EliQ. This is published in New York Times. It's an initiative that kind of provides some kind of social companion, especially to elderly people living alone. What makes it special is it has a camera that monitors what you're doing, and then based on what you're doing, it's able to prompt some kind of interaction with you. So, for example, it can see that you're making coffee, or it can hear that you're like the sound of the coffee dripping. It will prompt itself. It will say like, "Oh, I see that you're making coffee. Do you want to listen to some Dolly Parton?" Or, yeah.
Coffee and Dolly Parton.
Well, that's one of the examples quoted in the article.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Not a combination I would have thought of.
You know how like Siri or Google Home or like Alexa, a lot of the times you have to prompt them. You have to say like Alexa, right? But LEQ is special in the sense that it will regularly prompt you throughout the day, up to 8 times a day. So like maybe you're watching TV, it'll just randomly strike a conversation. Hey, MJ, you're watching Golden Girls. What do you think about what's happening in the episode right now? Remember, it has camera, so it can identify what's happening on the screen. It has a microphone, so it can kind of like understand what's happening in the episode. The article described there's some kind of like attachment to it, whether it be healthy or unhealthy.
What's your opinion of it?
I do think that loneliness is a huge issue that we don't address enough, especially among elderly people. So if it gives them some kind of social interaction.
Yeah, social interaction is huge for our well-being. Mm-hmm. But I want to hold you accountable for this because 6 months ago we talked about the same thing and you were like, oh, no. Yeah. Oh, letting it in. Oh. Yeah. Are you just giving up now because it's inevitable?
I like to think what are the alternatives, especially in the case of a lot of elderly people. A lot of the children live like hours away from their home and they're basically living by themselves. So the two choices is really just they have someone to talk to or they have nobody to talk to. And it also serves some medical purposes too. Like if she falls, the LEQ can detect it and call 911 for her. Whereas the alternative is, she just get unnoticed.
Right. Mm-hmm. But when it was physical AI for kids.
Yeah. Well, I do know that there are people in our team that are very against like smart devices like Alexa in their home.
That's true. We've seen that there's an even broader push against screens in education. This is the year where the discourse about AI, I think, is going to become a lot sharper, that we might have some really extreme views that are playing out, even on campuses, which kind of relates to some of the things that you were sharing.
I came across this article published in Inside Higher Ed. The article is called Why One Professor Abandoned the AI Resistant. It's an interview article with a business professor at UMass Lowell called Scott Latham. And he used to be one of academia's loudest AI skeptic. He said in 2024, AI is not your friend. But now he completely reversed his position. Now he actively teaches with AI and argues resistant is a losing career-ending strategy for faculty. And he created an index called AI Campus Index, which is a new ranking system that measures how seriously colleges are adopting AI.
The other piece that you sent me, there's a why we must act now statement. And we've seen these come around every year. The one that you sent me had to do with this is a key point. We have to be opposed to it right now. Mm-hmm. The changes will happen and there will be no turning back.
I will correct you a little bit. You mentioned the word oppose, right? Actually, we must act now statement never mentioned the word oppose.
Oh.
Because the article I sent you by Noah Smith, which is an economist, explained that he did not sign this statement because it is completely vague and unspecific.
Oh, really?
It's just like we must do something about it. It's never talked about what we should do. That's why he opposed to the statement.
What is it a statement to do then? To just have an opinion?
Like something is happening. We should do something about it. We cannot sit. And of course, like this is something that everyone will agree on. Everyone agrees that we should have some reaction towards it. But what is it? What should we do? There's an economist said that we should steer AI development towards being complementary to workers. And then there are people that also argues that actually this is all like very nothing burger because employment data shows that there's no visible AI-driven data losses, which we can also argue all day about.
One of the things that I think is most interesting and why I study emerging technologies is because we get to this point where everybody is supposed to have this, are you for or against, right? First of all, when it first starts, we have no idea what it is. And then we're like, oh, well, it's this, and we know what this is, and it's very clear. And then the next stage is, well, maybe it's not that, right? And that happens again and again. With every major technology, that's what happens. But each time we do that, the technology is further and further integrated into our daily practices. And so it's harder to even know what it is that you're being pro or against.
I also think it depends on the context, right? Am I encouraging physical AI into like lonely elderly people's homes? Yes. Am I encouraging parasocial relationship between a teenager and AI boyfriend or girlfriend?
Dang it, you hoisted me on my own petard. You're absolutely right that I was asking you to take a stance on the technology, but that is removing it from context, and that's what I'm supposed to be all about, right? That's what I try to teach my students. It's like, it's not just about the technology, it's about the context. Because it's not about the technology, it's about us, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the jobs thing. One of the things that I sent you was this report that came out, which I thought had really lovely methodology as well. It was in Harvard Business Review, and they did a study of the way that AI tools are being integrated into the hiring process, and how the things that we used to use as markers for this person could do the job aren't those markers anymore. And that a new one that's grown up is how to be authentic. I think one of the things that instructors should do is to start helping students do that, because AI lets you be fluent so quickly. And what this HBR article says is that what employers want to see is that with AI there, are you still making good decisions? Right? Can you use it as a tool rather than replacing? And so we're moving past replacement maybe to augmenting.
I've also seen a common complaint nowadays among students is that in school, you tell us not to use AI, but when we are looking for a job, employers are expecting that we're using AI in our workflow, in our everyday job.
Absolutely.
So there's this join between what we're being told in school and what we expected to perform in our jobs.
That's right. That's right. We have to make sure our students have the basic skills that they'll need in that workflow. We'll also need to help them stand out as what does an educated person who uses AI do? Using AI, but also using AI well, which means more than just ethically, more than just with integrity. It means using it strategically. It means to do your job better.
But to be honest, this is not just an AI issue, because of my collaboration with Apple, I started talking to a lot of manufacturers in the US, and a lot of their criticism is what colleges of engineering are teaching right now do not prepare graduates enough for a real manufacturing job.
Just generally?
Yes.
Oh.
And you could probably make the same argument for like College of Education graduate. Are they prepared to teach in a classroom? Right? So there's always this gap even before the age of AI, but now, because AI skill is seen like an essential, I don't know if it's a hard skill or soft skill, kind of like collaboration or like problem solving or like critical thinking. We are not doing enough, and the employers are expecting the graduates to have them.
That brings us back to this AI index that you shared. This new project promise that they can help you identify which universities would help you prepare best for what that workplace is going to be.
They look at 6 dimensions: AI in the classroom, AI in campus life, AI in operations such as admissions and financial aid, AI in governance, AI in research, and AI for workforce readiness. And actually, the business professor has assigned different weightings to different dimensions because he believes that some should be more important than others.
I saw this and I thought, all this person has done, it's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, right? And it's a great representation of that particular approach. That particular approach, I think, we've already moved past that. I think it was great for last academic year. But I think every dimension starts with AI in something. Is technology driven again, just as we were saying. Is even if it's about these different contexts, AI in campus life, well, what's campus life before? Just because there's AI in it, does it just do more of the great things or not great things? Or does it allow them to do things that they couldn't do before, right? And this is the stances I'm interested in. Does it replace? Does it augment? Or does it actually transform?
I also find the methodology not very academically rigorous. There's not a lot of evidence supporting why these 6 dimensions are chosen. What are some of the existing literature that says about all these 6 dimensions? And the thing that I find the most hilarious is instead of calculating the scores themselves, they actually just use Claude.
No.
Yeah, to crawl the web pages to give scores to different universities based on 6 dimensions.
Based on a web crawl.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Having done this by hand, I can tell you it is not a matter of, putting in the search box AI in this.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes me feel better about the results, though.
Yeah, because MSU is not in the top 50, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that. I shouldn't talk about the other school. Oh, oops. Yeah, shouldn't talk about the other school. Also in Michigan.
Well, maybe this will be the year.
Oh.
What Now with AI is a product of AI Commons. The contents in this podcast are openly licensed via Creative Commons license BY-NC-ND. Views expressed are those of the individuals and do not necessarily represent those of Michigan State University.
This episode was recorded on July 31st, 2026.